Students, the chapter we are going to read today is chapter number 5, The Foundation and the Consolidation of Mughal Empire. Students, the chapter we are going to read today is chapter number 5, The Foundation and the Consolidation of Mughal Empire. Here are table of contents which we are going to discuss in today's video lesson. So our main focus is to know about Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, and we will also go through with his biography. We will also discuss about Second Battle of Panipat. We will also know about Akbar's Nauratan. We will also going to know about the Mansabdari system set up by Akbar, the administration system of Akbar, and the new religion which he introduced. So first of all, we will going to discuss the objectives of our today's video lesson. So by the end of this video lesson, you will be able to discuss the personality of Akbar, recall the reasons behind Second Battle of Panipat, list the name of Akbar's Nauratan of the court, describe the causes of emergence of new religion introduced by Akbar. So students, we are going to start. Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, who ruled from 1556 to 1605. Here is the flow chart in which we can see the conquest and administration system of Akbar. The conquest which he did during his lifetime was Malwa, Gondwana, northwest Deccan. He also faced the subjection of Rajputs and the conflict with Rajput ruler Maharana Pratap. The administration system which he set up was Wazir, Dewan, Qazi, Dewan-e Khas, Dewan-e-Am. He also set up the Mansabdari system, revenue system which was led by Todermal. So now it's time for his biography. Abul Fateh Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar was born on 15th October in 1542 in Amarkot. Present day it is known as Umarkot. It is situated in Sindh, Pakistan. And he was popularly known as Akbar the Great. And he was the third Mughal emperor. His predecessors was Babur and Humayun. He succeeded his father Humayun at the age of 13. And until he was not mature enough, so he was led by Bairam Khan, and he was a great support to him. And he effectively handled the challenges of Akbar's power. But later, Akbar dismissed Bairam Khan. The personality of Akbar was very strong, and he was considered as a successful general. Because Akbar gradually enlarged the Mughal Empire and included much of the Indian subcontinent. His power and influence, however, extended over the entire subcontinent because of the efficient Mughal military, culture, political, and economic dominance. And he was very wise. So, for this purpose, to unify the vast Mughal state, he established a centralized system of administration and adopted a policy of conciliating concurrent rulers through marriage and diplomacy. Akbar had many wives, many Muslim wives and one of the Hindu wife as well. So he married in his near reign to get their support. Akbar was himself was very fond of literature. He was not only a military man, he was also very fond of literature, and he was a patron of art and culture. He made many libraries in his state. But the most notable library was Fatehpur Sikri, which he was exclusively made for women. Akbar died on 27th October 1605 at the age of 63, and his tomb is in Sikandra, Agra. Now students, the challenges which was faced by Akbar, the main challenge was to face the Hindu Emperor Hemu, and in that result the Second Battle of Panipat was held. This battle was fought on 5th of November 1556 between the Hindu Emperor of North India Hemu and the forces of the Mughal Empire. And this place was not far from the site of the First Battle of Panipat. The First Battle of Panipat was led during the time of Babur. And the result of that battle was Mughal defeated Hemu and he was killed. You can see in this map, Panipat was the place, actually it was a battlefield for them. So they used to fight battles over there. At that place, it was Panipat. So in this, we can see the overview of Second Battle of Panipat. First of all, there were belligerents. This battle fought between two parties, two armies. One was Mughal army, the second was army of Hemu. The commanders and leaders. Commanders and leaders of Akbar army was Akbar was a commander, Baram Khan was a leader along with Ali Kuli Khan, Sikandar Khan Uzbek, Abdullah Khan Uzbek, Hussain Kuli Khan, Sayyid Mahmud Khan, and Shah Kuli Mehram. Whereas on the other hand, the Hindu army was led by Hemu, along with Hem Chandra, Vikram Aditya Ramya, and Shadi Khan Kakad. The army cavalry which they had, Mughals had only 10,000 cavalry, whereas Hemu had 30,000 cavalry. Mughals had 2,000 war elephant, whereas Hemu had 500 war elephants. And there were minimal casualties and injuries in the Mughal Empire, whereas Hemu's army has to face nearly 5,000 casualties and injuries. Now we are going to talk about Akbar's Nauratans, or 9 gems of the court. Akbar had selected 9 very wise men from his kingdom who acted as his advisors and top officials in the court. They were called Nauratans, or 9 gems of Akbar. Akbar is called the greatest of all Mughal emperors because he expanded the empire and yet kept it as one entity under his rule. So, the people he chose in his Nauratans court was Raja Birbal, Mia Tansen, Abul Fazl, Faizi, Raja Man Singh, then Raja Todarmal, Mullah Do Piazza, Fakir Azizuddin, and Abu Rahim Khana Khana. Now, students, we are going to talk about the Mansabdari and administration system of Akbar. Akbar abolished the old Jagidari system that was set up by his ancestors and replaced that with the modern Mansabdari system. Mansab means in Arabic is the equivalent to rank or position. So this system determined the rank or status of government officials and military generals and were paid by Akbar himself. Salaries and jagirs were given according to their ranks. After death of those soldiers, those things will be back to the king. Whereas the administration system, as Akbar set up a very vast empire, so he divided the empire into 15 provinces for effective administration. And each province was ruled by a governor who was responsible for law and order. For criminal cases, judges were appointed. For Muslim, the Sharia law are consulted, and for the Hindus, respected juries were settle their disputes. He also set up the revenue collection, and he made Todarmal the finance minister who look after all the finance. Now, students, we are going to talk about the religion, the new religion which he introduced and why he did so. So, as Akbar believed in religious harmony and wanted to harmonize the relationship between Muslims and Hindus. As you might know that subcontinent was the place, India was the main place where the variety of different cultures were prevailed. Many people from different cultures used to live in India. So, to harmonize all of them and to gain their support, he introduced a new religion to get the support of non Muslim subjects as well. And that religion was known as Deen-e Ilahi, and it was secreted creed derived mainly beliefs from Islam and Hinduism, and as well as some parts of Zoroastrianism and Christianity were involved in that religion. Though many Muslim ulama rejected it as it had many un-Islamic practices like bowing before emperors, and the religion finished with the death of Akbar, who was the founder of this religion. In this picture, this was the logo of Deen-e Ilahi, in which you can see that the logo of different religions, like there is Christianity, there is Hinduism, there is Jainism, there is Islam. So Deen-e Ilahi actually was a mixture of different beliefs of the different religions. So students, this is all from my side. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz. Take care.